Hey everybody, this is the professor with Day Trading for Success. It is October 5th, and today is going to be an exciting video because I am going to share with you every single custom script I have and this new layout. We're in the middle of a competition this week, and after the book came out, we did a new layout based on all the feedback from people using the book, which is pretty exciting. And then we started a competition on Monday. That'll be finished on Friday, and then I'll release everything for you guys to see, the competition. And but in the meantime, today I'm going to make available every single custom script that I have, which are 10 of them. Some have been modified, some are with collaboration, some are just straight up Day Trading for Success scripts, but they're all here, and I actually have them all on this platform. I'm going to be sharing this platform as well. So all these scripts will be available for free, and they'll all be on this platform. So if you like what you see today, remember to give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. And I'm actually going to ask a personal favor. It's the first time I've ever done it, but it would make me look really cool for the $1 Million Margin Club if you've already purchased the book. I'm going to show you today a couple of things today we're going to go over. But if you've already purchased this book, assuming that you like it, which I can't imagine you don't, but please give a review. Even if you just push the 5 stars and you don't say anything, it's going to make me look really cool, and it's going to really help the book. It's a lot like YouTube for the thumbs up and the subscribe. When you give a review, it moves the book up, the ratings. And I'd like as many people as possible to see that book, to learn about range-bound trading, to learn about RV strategy, because it's a lot different. If you have it, it's more like a textbook, a workbook. It's not just talking about theories that, you can put everything together yourself later on and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But it actually really step-by-step guidelines. Obviously, if you see some of these videos here, it's helpful, but the book stands alone. It's from the $1 Million Margin Club. And I said I was going to shout out about reviews because they're selling a lot. It hit bestseller right away. So people liked it. Hit bestseller. It stayed on bestseller. But out of all the thousands of books, nobody's leaving reviews. And actually, that's kind of typical. It's very typical, like 5% will review. So I'd like to blow that out of the water. If you're, I know a lot of DTS members have bought the book, so it'd be great if you did that. All right, I'll let that go. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go over every script that's on here and what it does. So you might know some of them already. A lot of you have them already. So I do recommend that when you go to download this new layout, which is really cool, if you don't already have the scripts, download the scripts first. So they'll each have individual links. Now remember, if you press the link, you're going to get it the hard way. It's going to take you to Thinkscript and load. All you have to do is where you see those links, highlight that link, go into your platform, and then when you push share item, push Control V, and then they go in. So you have to do each of those individually, because when you move the platform over, which I will have a URL for as well, they won't come with it. And then another thing that comes up a lot when you do the platform, remember when you first open up to sign in, there's going to be a little gear wheel down there. Open up that gear wheel, and it has a look and feel thing right in there that's different than what you see here. And you can pick your font size, you can pick all kinds of stuff. But to get this look on the level 2 that everybody wants, because I worked long and hard to find something that was easy to read on Thinkorswim, it's old school, TOS, ThinkScript old school. So it shows it right there. You can pick the kind that you want, light, dark. You pick the old school one, and then it comes out like this, and it looks really cool if that's what you want anyway, because it'll all be just like blue. So those are a lot of the questions that come up, and I want to try to get them all out. Moving this over, people don't listen to what I say, and does that really happen? No, like we all don't listen to what people say, but so I'm trying to make it trying to make it easy. I'm sure the questions are going to flood, but so this is going to be really cool that you're going to get this. And there's, as with everything we do here, it's all free, which is really cool. So let's start to go over this perfect 1 minute layout that we've been using on the competition, and people are freaking out how good it's, the things that it's changed and helped. And there's some things here, some scripts here you have never seen. I've never made public yet. So they're all going to be public now. So basically, what I think I'll do is I'm going to maximize this chart, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put in DTS. So these are all the scripts you're going to be getting, and these are the ones you're going to highlight. So that there's 10 of them. So some of them you have, some of them you don't. So I just wanted you so you could see them. But we'll go into them. So what we have up here is the ATR, which I've talked about in a couple other videos. This is specific to the RV strategy, where it tells you the close of day, and then it divides from that close of day. It divides it in two, and then it takes half of it, and it finds the ATR low by subtracting it from the close of day. Which is right here. I'm pointing to the wrong thing. This is the ATR. So it subtracts it from the close of day to get the low ATR, and it marks it here in a red line. No, that's the VWAP. Hang on. There it is down here. So there's the high and the low. And then it takes the other half and adds it to get the ATR high, which is that green line. And what I do differently, because we still haven't figured out how to make these high and low, the zone for trading the ATR. And it's so important. Like, remember, guys, ATR is not just specific. Most of you might know this. It's not just specific to the strategies that we use on this channel, which is the RV strategy, the open strategy, and the escalator strategy. It is, you need to know the ATR for just about anything you trade. You need to know the range of the stock, whether you're doing a long-term trade, a swing trade, a momentum trade, or a day trade. You really need to know. Now, what we did with the $1 Million Margin Club is they took it down to a science for figuring out a range that on average the large cap stocks would stay in between. So if you're trading consolidated stocks like the RV strategy, you have a range that you can, for the most part, count on. Nothing's forever, nothing's for sure. And actually, since I'm talking about strategy, I think I need to bring this in. I wasn't thinking. So make sure you read our disclaimer, guys. We're an entertainment channel. Okay, so we're not, you need a licensed professional advisor to trade. So remember that. You should pause and read that whole thing. So yeah, so it starts you off with the range, but what I do so that it will translate to the other charts, because it is on the 1 minute chart, but it won't be on, like, for instance, I'm going to want it on the 4 hour chart, because as you know, when we do the ATR range, we want to mark every 4 hour body or wick that hits that range. So we know where that stock pivoted. We would know where that stock might likely stop, turn around, slow down. We want to know. We want to know that over a 4 hour period in 10 days, as we're trading today, like, hey, what made that go? Nobody really knows why it stops or slows or turns completely around. Nobody knows for sure, but it sure is. I mean, the whole basis of the RV strategy is creating these channels and then knowing that. So you need the ATR to go the whole distance. So what I do is, and I'll just show you what I do, and I think I showed you on another video already, but let's just do it again. So I'll just create a new line. All right, and then I'll spread this out so I can really see that ATR is at 447.66. So 447.66. So I'll go inside here, right click, edit the properties, and I'm going to put this in first. 447. I already forgot 60. What was it? 440. Jesus. 447.66. I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. So 447.66. I was going to write the ATR high, and then I lost my train of thought. Caps. We'll make it green like it is, and I'll make it triple thick. And so it did all the math for me, so it saved me a lot of time. I just throw it in here now, and boom, it covers that up. And now if you see, that's a 15-minute here. If you see, it's going to be there. And because we might talk about the RV strategy a little bit, even though that's not what this video is about, I'll do the same thing with the ATR low as well. So let me just make sure that price is really that price, 433.16. No. Wait a minute. Why is it saying there's more than one to grab there? That's the study I want to grab, but no, that's not what I want to do. Hang on. Oh, because I need to make a new line first. Oops. I hope this isn't the way this whole video is going to go. Or 33.16. Okay, so we'll make that one red because that's the low. We'll call it ATR low. In case there's any doubt, we're in the middle. Oops, and we're in the middle of trading. We'll make it triple thick. Say okay. So that covered that line. So now there is our range for the day on a 1-minute chart. But if you go to open it up, we've got it for how we mark it out. So we would typically mark out every over a 10-day period, every body and every wick. Usually you don't need to, they'll line up, so there won't be as many as it sounds. They'll line them up and you can take some license, a little bit of license. Now, again, I talked about it when I was talking about the book the other day when it was released, how most of the professional traders don't do it exactly like this, and because they can figure out the average of where the stock turned around over a period of days. But what we did is we made it easier for anybody if you just want to get into trading. If you mark everybody and every wick, like, let me do this. I'll just give you an example. I am getting into a little bit of the RV, which I didn't think I was going to do, but we'll put the extension off. And I'll make this light blue. Okay. So you can type in and make that, say, 4 hour on that. I go by colors, but if you want it, if you just saw it, you can name it anything you want. So you could just say it's 4 hour or just 4H. Oops. What's going on? I had a 1 to start with. 4H. So, you might want to do that so you don't forget. You can make all your lines white. You could do whatever you want. But, so that you're typically going to mark out. But if you really, a lot of the traders still use just the 5-minute and the Fibonacci's, and then they take it from a 5-minute, and I'll give you an example. It's the 5. There's a whole bunch of scripts here we're going to go over, but this is a 5-minute, and see the ATR highs and lows. And what they'll do is, and I also do this a lot, but I wanted to teach you guys the easy way because there was a lot of questions. How do you know exactly where to put it? So I'm going to show you one more time because I think it's better if you learn this, but if you're not comfortable with it, you shouldn't do it this way. So what you're doing on a 5-minute is you look across to the right. If I start over here and I see, this clump here, how many times does this hit? See, it hit right here, and then no place else, right? So that's not a particularly good one. It hit right there. That's not a particular. So I'm looking for multiple alignment, and the book talks about this too. Multiple alignment over time. See, like when you get up to these and you go over to your right, you can see, if you look at the right over there, I'm looking over here, you can see when these are tapping here, try to align them with some of that pre-market activity and still hit them over here. So you're getting the most. So a mean average is okay because when you have them marked on the 4 hours, there's no it's not going to exactly turn around. And I used to say respect them 25% of the time, but then the new idea is respect them all the time. Respect them until you can't respect them. And you've seen me trade them, and you use the micro, the mini, and the micro, small, medium, large, and mega channels. The smaller the channels are, if they break through, it's like a shackle is attaching to the candlestick, like almost like it's alive, like it's having to pull past an area where it turned around before. So you picture it like it's stretching a rubber band, or it's harder for it to move the direction that it's moving. If you picture that in your head, it kind of gives you a feel for the trade, and usually the volume is going to reflect that. When the volume starts to reflect, like you're going like, wow, it's really going through so many lines, it's probably weakening or whatever, however you want to think about it. And then if you start to see the volume drop at the same time, then you're getting your confirmation like, oh crap, let me get out with my profit right now, or let me get ready to reverse. So you guys seen me trade, and it's really not rocket science. It's just, it takes a while to get used to it. Okay, so let's get into the scripts. So that was the ATR, and that's on here. And this is the other one. So if you're a momentum trader, and I'm not something I'm really actively teaching because this is next level stuff, but this is basically going to show you when the stock is halted. This is when this stock would halt. Right here. So it would not halt till it gets to 538. So this is a large cap stock. Probably, it's not the best thing, but where people usually use this script. Now, I'm hopefully you know about halting. That's not actually covered in the book. That's next level stuff. But when the stock moves too fast, they want to make sure that the market isn't damaged. They're gonna shut that stock off. And there's a better way to say it than I just said it. But that's just the main broad strokes of it. It's going to stop going down. It's going to stop going up. It's going to stop for a period of, say, 5 minutes, sometimes 10. They'll kind of tell you, there's services you can get that will tell you, is it going to be longer? Is it going to be 10 minutes? Is it going to be 20 minutes? Is it going to be till we don't know what's going on, like with GameStop one time? But they want to make sure that they control things. So you need to not be caught in a position when it halts, right? Or maybe you're one of those guys that loves to get caught in a position because when it's halting, the price will adjust. It's going to adjust, and you're going to be in the position that you have. So when you're, and then it turns back on, and you're like, crap, that's $2 lower than when I had it, and you've lost $2,000, $3,000 or whatever. So having this come up with lines on the chart when it's going to halt, it's like if I went up to, what was that, say 537? Yeah, see, there it is. See, it's showing you're getting near the halt at 537.72, right? And then here's the other one, 3. So it will show you, and usually they're much closer, of course, because you're not watching a halt on a large cap like that. So this is a pretty great script if you are trying to momentum trade on Thinkorswim. That's another problem. Thinkorswim won't let you take partial. You can't use the hotkeys and do partial. So you're going to end up just adjusting your share size right here. And then, and that just takes too long to do that kind of trading. So you need to really have a really good trading plan if you're planning to do that type of momentum trading. Now, that does lead us right into the scalping indicator, which is, to me, out of all the years I've been trading, particularly on Thinkorswim, this is the number one best indicator I have ever seen. So now, and I'm not just saying that. I truly believe it. It's free. I'm not selling you anything, so you can get this for free. But this is telling you where the sellers are, where the buyers are, where the volume is, and then it's giving you percentages over here as well. Now, one of the question is why don't these exactly line up? What is happening with these? I don't know. That's a simple. This was a ChatGPT accident that this happened. So we need a smarter person than me. So maybe somebody can answer that question. I don't know. But how I do use it, how we all use it, is that we watch this. Like right now, okay, so I don't have the candlesticks open. I put one share on here just to mess with you guys so I can show you. But like if you look at this momentum thing, right? So now it just dropped off. But let's look at this pattern for a second just to give an example. So right now it's telling you that it's going to go down, but it's not a for sure thing either way. So I would want to have this marked out. I would want to think about other things before I normally traded. But when this climbs from like 5%, 15%, suddenly 20, 25, and you see momentum gathering here, I mean, look at how the volume just dropped. Wait, is the market about to close? Yeah, is it? Yeah, okay, so this is weird stuff happening right now. But typically the way this is moving, you'd buy. So I bought a share, right? Now, typically this should be going up. And then, I just went up for, what is it? Now it's wavering. So, see, now I've lost my 3 cents I had from earlier. You guys did that. But I should have just sold instantly for like a small profit there as it went up, because that's what scalping is, right? So you just, just sell instantly, and then you could. Now I could double. Wow, look at that. Now I've made 4 cents. Did you see how fast that moved? I had like 30 cents for a second, but, there was a little bit of a delay there. But, using this, now I wasn't really watching this anymore, so that was a terrible example. But look at it now. So it did tell us it was about to go up. I just didn't wait it out. So this is just telling you ahead of time. And basically, I'll go over it one more time. But if you've just seen this for the first time, this indicator, and I've got a time and sales over here, which I normally don't have, and it's set a certain way, which I'm going to show you why I have it and why we were using it earlier in the week for the competition. So this is the people, the bid and the ask, and this isn't going to be a whole level 2 tutorial, but basically the spreads in between, and then there's a bridge between these two, and then as they're asking and you're bidding, they take a little bit of percentage off. The market maker does as it crosses that bridge, like a toll. I have to be careful because this is where I got in trouble with the whole dark pool video, but I'm just going to do on broad strokes here what level 2 means. So then after that, the best price is, actually I jumped the gun for what I was going to show you about the volume profile first, but let me go down to the level 2 here real quick so I can show you on the chart. Yeah. So, you can see here, this is the buyer's price. This is the seller's price. These are the exchanges in the middle, or the gateways, some people call them. Then you're multiplying these shares by 100, right? So in between those two, what people are asking and what people are willing to pay is the spread. And that distance, when it travels, when you go to purchase a stock or sell a stock, it's going to fill your order. They grab it real quick and they make money on it. So you never get the best price. A lot of people don't know that. So when you're going to a something like Lightspeed, or one of the ones that charge trader fees, one of the brokerage, they don't do that as where they're not double dipping. They're just charging you fees and you're getting more of a direct access. Now, it does explain that a lot in the book, exactly how that works. But you're basically, these are all lining up for the same price here, as you can see, and you're multiplying by 100, and it tells you, I think it's on the previous page. Yeah, why aren't those lined up right? Is it on this page? Oh, interesting. These don't seem to be lined up the way it is in the book, but yeah, 6,900 shares is what those added up to. All right, I'm losing focus, guys. Sorry. But anyway, I'm talking about how this reconciles. So that happens, and then your receipt shows up. This is the time and sales, which is basically like a receipt. And you're not seeing this move really fast because I have this set in a particular way for it's going to have to be at least 200 shares or greater, or I don't want to see it. And that's because I'm trading large cap, and I'm trading larger share size. So I need to know the big moves only. I don't need to know the little moves. So you can see that at this price, right now, it's at the end of the day, it's not very money. But, if I wanted to get it for that price, say I was selling it 246, if I was selling more than, 600, then the price to fill me, and it will fill me no matter what, it will slip. And I can slip. This is interesting. This is down here. Well, these are, selling and buying. But anyway, this is the receipt. This has already happened. But you could see it would have slipped for me here. So that's 100 shares, 200 shares. This is 400 shares. Remember, multiply by 100. That's 1,100 shares. So obviously, when you're doing level 2 and you're reading this, which is a real skill, and I kind of antiquate it to, let's think about the matrix for a second. I'm a big movie guy, and you see all those symbols coming down on the screens, and you see that the guy, I can't think of his name right now. What's his name? Anyway, he's reading them, and you're like, how is he doing that? And it's really cool, to show that, and you're thinking like, yeah, of course you could learn to do that if that's what you did. Well, level 2 is a little like that. You got to kind of look at it for a long time, and then you sort of zoom in on what is the price action based on the number of shares available. And then there are a lot of platforms that add these together for you, so you don't have to go and add add them up, and then you can just see the totals. And what happens here is the ladder does that for you. Here, they will add them together if you use the ladder. Now, I have my ladder set a certain way too. So this is, everything is modified for the way that I trade, or I think it should be traded for the RV strategy if you use the ladder. So, but I don't typically use that. But anyway, then once that all happens, it reconciles to a histogram. Once the receipt comes over, and then it reconciles to this histogram, and then this histogram almost at the same time reads that histogram. So it sounds like there's this long time going on between you pay the toll at the bridge, then it registers that you've paid that toll with a receipt, and then you drive on, and then finally it shows you what happened. But no, before you can go, 1 second, that's all done. So what does that mean in the terms of this momentum scalping indicator down here? What that means is you're getting about as fast of information as you possibly can, other than the level 2. The level 2 is a split second faster. So if you really get good at reading that, that's great. But what if you're not good at reading that, and you never get good at reading that? And a lot of people never do. What if you don't even want to take the time to get good at reading that? Now, a lot of brokers, if you saw some of my, oh, that was on the video. Yeah. A lot of brokerages, which you might not know, is when they take on new people to make money for them, they usually have to show a portfolio of successful trades they've done and stuff. So $1 Million Margin Club's full of a lot of, hedge fund, former hedge fund manager, former brokers. So there's this kind of talk is around the coffee table all the time. So they will, depending on how good your portfolio is or not, but if you're fairly new, they won't even let you trade with real money until they only let you look at level 2. That's it. They're not going to let you look at anything else. You're going to look at this stock, you're going to look at level 2, and you're going to place a trade. That's the way a lot of brokerages train. So until you're totally proficient with this, they're not going to let you do it. Now, this is a cheater's way. I got to tell you, this became a cheater's way. So I'm in love with this thing, and I do the momentum for a lot more than 4 cents but I'll have my lines. I mean, I'll be more prepared. I'm not going to only use this. Look at this here. This is gonna, this would be telling you right now, buy right now. I would buy that. So now I don't know if it's gonna, but it would be good to have other things, like maybe there could be a big support line level right here that we don't know about because it's not marked out, and we are within the ATR range. Yeah. So anyway, so you're looking at getting on this momentum as it happens. It's sort of like a big wave, and you're a surfer, and you see it coming, and you're jumping on the board, and I'm going to ride that as long as I can, and you're just being prepared to get off very quickly. So if you're not having hotkeys, you're having your cursor right up here. So this indicator is going to be available. It shows the percentages, it shows what's happening visually, and it also shows the close of the last candle, because you're looking at that too. Like if this was going up at the same time that you were actually having a higher volume from the last candle, it's telling you, hey, this is, see, had you got in that right here, this told you ahead of time. Now, it doesn't work all the time, but it works a lot more than 50% of the time, right? So if it doesn't break out, you bail out. That's the rule, right? If it's not going the right way, bail out. But this, I could have just made, how many cents is that? 50, that's 40 cents right there. That's how much that was. So if you had, just even 100 shares, $40. So this is incredible, and you should learn how to use it, and it's way easier. Look, it's better to learn this, no question, level 2. But this is, for most people, they're just not going to get. This takes years to get good at it. This, a couple of days, so, but trade in a sim. Remember, trade in a sim. Use this in a sim. Now, this down below is another one that's offered, and this is the one that I had forever that I scripted myself, and then we modified it with the help of some of the subscribers and ChatGPT to be this. But this is how it was. This is what I used for years, and maybe not years, time. It might not have been years, but for a while. And this just shows the sellers. So I could get almost just as much information, but I mean, like having both these lines isn't particularly that much better. But it basically is. This is a lot better, showing these things coming up here. Actually, I wish those were staying on the same line. Let me just. Yeah, there we go. I want to make sure these stay up here. Although this down here, which I'm about to tell you, gives you all this information too. So this you can read just as well, but you don't get this. See, now I would have jumped in to short, and it's retracing, and I would get another, look at that, 60, 70 cents in a split second, guys. You know, it's not a trick. It's that easy, right? But you just, if it doesn't go the right way, bail out. I know some of the questions have been, can you please trade with that? I will be trading with that. You will see videos like that. But if you don't want to wait to see one, practice in the sim. Oh, the market closed. I'm like, what happened? The market closed. But anyway, so this is available as well, the seller's indicator. And, you know, sometimes this is easier for people to read. It's not all jumbled up and they're just watching this. And we, much like candlestick patterns, this volume with this is basically showing you an histogram candlestick pattern. So we got very, very good at reading these just like candlesticks and anticipating the moves even without where the sellers were, you know. So anyway, 2 really good scripts. Now, one of the things that's changed on here for this new competition, and I think I mentioned it, was what I did with the volume, the VWAP. So I did decide to add the upper and lower bands. I mean the upper green and the lower red, and I'll show you those on the book too in a second. And then I made them wider and I made them dotted lines. So now we can see them on the chart. So you can see, this is the grid. The grid's going to confuse you if you don't know what that is. But let me just get into the middle of this day here a little bit so we can kind of see what's going on now that the action stopped. So there's the upper band of the VWAP. Here's the lower band of the VWAP. Now, obviously, this has moved since these were here, but what we found is, and I didn't normally use this, I discarded this a long time ago. What we found is that it did support, reject or get support off these, or when it came back down, get a bounce. I mean, this started to almost broke into an escalator strategy as it broke through the ATR here. So it's more stuff on the chart, but I'm using them now. I like them so that when you download this layout, it will be on here. That's not one you have to load. That's not a custom script. That's available through Thinkorswim. So that's the end of that 1 minute chart. I mean, obviously, they're all this, this is all the stuff. I have 9, 20, 50, 100, 200, the VWAP. This is the 5 minute. Oh, God, I thought I got that. Yeah, that's not the one that says DTS. So hang on here. Let's get rid of that. Let's get the right one in here for you guys. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, that's I had the wrong one in there. I'll make sure I save this properly for you guys and have this exact script. We might find some other mistakes here and there. I have so many platform layouts that if things start to slow down, I will go back to like a super fast one that doesn't have as much in it if I'm getting some. So remember to watch that video I have about how to speed up your platform and your computer. If you just type that in, how to speed up or whatever on the search, you'll find that. You're definitely going to want to do that. But here is it's going to be a video, guys, a longer video, guys, but I just want to make sure I give you guys all this information. This book is great because, so there it is. It's showing you on the VWAP what I just talked about. Oh, wait, sorry. No, that's not what I'm doing. Here it is. Here's the VWAP. So it's showing you the upper band and the lower band and the VWAP. You can see here too. Again, this has moved since these might have moved from where you see these, but it does come into effect, and it explains about it. The VWAP. Yeah, here. These pages line up in the book, so these are not lined up perfectly here for some reason. But anyway, yeah, I don't know why that is. It's interesting. Oh, well. They'll be side by side. This would be to the right, and then the VWAP would be right here. So, but yeah, so you can go back in and read about it, and if I didn't cover it all for you. So I'll try to kind of refer to this as we get to the different things here. as well as the scalpers indicator. I just went past the scalpers indicator. So the scalpers indicator is also in here. Yeah, right here. And is information about that. It tells you how it works. So that's some of this. Yeah, these pages are skewed on this PDF thing. And now while we're here, let me talk to you about this too. So on the volume profile, which I'll show you on the chart, this is something that Thinkorswim offers for free. It'll be on your platform, but I use two different ones. This one on the 1 minute is set for intraday. You can see here it kind of talks about it here in the book as well, intraday. So I can see that with the point of control and the value high and the value low, I can see it happening as I'm trading. You'll literally see the price action move toward you as you're trading. So it's just another alert. You want everything you can have. And down further in the book, which is why I highly recommend this book, is the 10 things to look for to enter or exit any trade. The 10 best things. They're all laid out. The different things you want to look for to get your perfect entry. So it's worth putting those to memories, making a photocopy of that page and pasting it on your computer, whatever. The more you can get those to line up, the better chance you have of having your trade. And those are all professional traders kind of minds melding to give you this stuff. A lot of it's pretty, you know it, right? So you're looking for support, you're looking for resistance, you're looking for the half dollar, you're looking for the whole dollar, you're looking for a volume spike at the same area. So there's just a lot of things. I won't mention all 10 of them, but, remembering them and putting them to, they're just second nature is so important. So let's see, I talked about that. There's something in there about I don't think there's something in there about the seller's indicator, but it's basically the same as this. And then on the daily chart, which is down here for screen management, which we'll get, so there's the ATRs, and that has your 100, 200, and 50 moving averages. And it does explain a whole strategy in the book about when the 50 crosses the 200, that's a sign that the stock's going to go up. I remember there's a whole book that's all it talks about that I bought. And I remember early on when I first started trading, this is all I did, for longer term trades. This is literally how I traded and made money. And look at it. It exactly did what it said it was going to do. This is an expensive stock, but I mean, when it crossed, it says it's going up. And then when it goes back down, it's going to go, let me just auto zoom this. It goes the opposite way when it breaks through, if you see, although NVIDIA is just a crazy stock right now. But as you can see, the 50 went down through the 200 and it dropped. Boop, 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 just like it said. So, this is a day chart set for 20 years, but still, this is if you're holding a position. And you obviously would set your stop, you would obviously set your stop loss and what your take profit, and you figure that all out and either put it on. I do not believe in putting a stop loss in because there are stop hunters. They are real. It's not a joke. They pay to see where your stop loss is. And a lot of people would take this exact position right here where it turned around a bunch, put their stop loss right in this area, and then they're people that can drop in, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of shares and manipulate it to drop down, pick up all your things, and then the stock springs up and they make a fortune. That is real. That happens all the time. Believe me, I'm with a group of guys that tell me that how they did it. So I can tell you it's real. If you think it's just hokey, you're wrong. So what do? Now if you're doing momentum trading, you're going to have a mental stop loss. If you're doing fast, you don't even have time. Right? I mean, some people will, do brackets and stuff, but honestly, especially if you're adding and subtracting share size, like I tried brackets on Lightspeed and it was just a mess. So if you're doing that really fast scalping on a 1 minute chart, you just want a mental stop loss. Now the RV strategy has a specific way, and it's really good to save you from yourself and to make the most profits. So you should definitely. That's in the book too, or watch some of my videos about that. But otherwise, you set an alarm. And I know I've seen other gurus say that same thing. So set an alarm like, hey, it's getting near the area where I got to get out, and then you just got to have it on your phone or whatever and you get out that way. Don't let people see. That's just me telling you that. Again, I'm not a licensed professional advisor, so seek advice to somebody that you trust. So anyway, that's you. I want to have that chart always to look back at an overall thing of the stock, that where the stock's at, and then the 4 hour is going to help me mark out all those pivots and look at long term as well. I set that for 10 days, so you're going to get these all set up, right? But just so you know right now, and then I'm going to speed up a little bit, and then here's the 1 hour. All right, so this is not right. So let me just get in here and see why this is 161. Let's set this for 10. Apply. And then what do we got for is this 10 days? Yeah, that's 10 days. So yeah, I just pulled it closer to the edge of the screen by resetting that. But also we mark this out a lot for the RV where but the 4 hours will pick up a lot of these, and then you might want to do some others to get those support. So read about, if you don't know what I'm talking about, either read about it in the book or watch some of the videos on the RV strategy. It really works. It's if you can follow it and control your emotions, it will work for you. I just bet it will work for you, right? Again, not a licensed financial advisor. Make your own decisions. But if you are stressed out and not able to hold your position, that means your share size is way too high. So first of all, trade in a sim till it works for you. But then lower your share size so that you can lose that whole amount between the whole channel. You could lose that whole channel, whatever it is. So if you have 5 shares, 10 shares, whatever it is. Now, obviously, you want to get it in when it's hitting down here, and it's that's the support, and it starts to bounce back up. And then there's all kinds of things to follow when to get out. If it's not going to make it the whole way, so you don't. If it breaks through there, then you have a it's either breakout or bail. If it's going the wrong way, there's things to follow of when to get out of that too. But pretty much, oops, I didn't get it right. So, and once it leaves the ATR anyway, it's a whole new ball game, a whole new strategy. So that's the escalator strategy. You want to look into that. We teach that too. So now the 15-minute I have made bigger now. So you can see it and it's not minimized. And I did a couple other things. This is going to be one of the new scripts, which is the Bollinger Band. When it leaves the upper Bollinger Band, you're going to have an arrow. For those of you that like to trade the Bollinger Band, this is one of the ones that was contributed to Day Trading for Success to share with people. And then when it drops below it, I've changed the colors on this. When it drops below it, it will be red, and goes above it, it will be green. That doesn't necessarily mean the stock's going to go up. So you want to learn about Bollinger Bands, and as with and then I have the besides having the custom one in here with the arrows, I also put in an actual Bollinger Band along with my other. So all this is in here. Let me just take a look. So you have all the regular. 9s, the 20, the 50, the 100, the 200. And then you have the VWAP. And then you have this profit and loss here, which I'm going to talk about in the middle. And this is the custom Bollinger Band. Then I have a regular Bollinger Band in here. And then the RSI as well as the DTX alert. So there's a bunch to talk about on this chart. DTS alert. Oh, come on. Look what it's making me do. All right. So anyway, then we have the RSI. Now, there's a whole thing in the book about this stuff. Not about Bollinger Bands, because we didn't really use that for the RV strategy, but I know a lot of people like it. Oh, did I get into this yet? Oh, I didn't get into this yet, so I moved on. Let me do this for a second first. So when we do the volume profile, I talked about the intraday, but I didn't talk about on the 5-minute. So the 5-minute, I usually have an intraday and a 5-minute, and a 10-day set up off to the right. Now there's all a bunch of videos we have some videos about this, but basically some people call this the belly, the valley, the cliff, this is the price action. Okay. So this is where it mostly is. So right now it's in the middle of a huge area, but then you can look off like it's a fall off a cliff here, or a waterfall, however you want to look at it. This could be the cliff, this could be I don't know. But and then there's no price action, or it's gone way down, so it might just suck it right back down. So you got to watch these areas, right? Or it might pull it back to where there's more, or it might just fall off. So any of those things can happen, but it's going to, knowing where this is going to help you, again, line up more information about what you want to do. Enter, exit, whatever. Just one more little bit of information to give you the edge that you need for these positions. So if you go to this 5-minute overview, you can see I have the intraday just like it was set up, and then I have the one over here for the 10 days on the right. So you can see it happening in the point of control. These are in two different areas, point of control. So this is the way you'll get yours. So you can figure out how you want to. Oh, I'm way off to the side. That's why that's doing that. Yeah. There you go. Because this is 10 days, so they're changing over 10 days. So this is just very, very helpful to have this information. You can get paralyzed with too much information, obviously, right? Now, this one has that Bollinger Bands on it as well. So see the little arrow there? So you need to study on that. I am not a huge user of that. I feel like it's almost too much for me with all the other stuff I have. I have enough to be successful with what I use now. But people swear by these, and I like the idea that we had help with the script, and I really appreciate it. And so now that's going to be something you guys can decide if you want to study some other videos on it or learn about it. Unfortunately, it's not something that's in the book. So what else is on this 50? So that's the volume profile. So what else is on this 15-minute chart? So this is the RSI. So again, let me show you. It's probably easier just to show you in the book about the RSI. Talked about that. Yeah, relative strength. Yeah, these are not side by side. This is annoying me, but so it's going to give you the formula, what it's all about, why it's good. This is something I do use. And on your chart, it's going to tell you when it's typically overbought or oversold, depending on where the line is, 70 or 30. This is an average, a typical. People mess with the numbers. This is an average of what most people seem to use. So seeing if the stock, it's also, you have to look at the RSI as a momentum indicator as well, like the momentum of the stock. So I've found that on the 1 minutes and the 5 minutes, I really don't. I don't. It's just I've got enough telling me the momentum. But on the longer term, I kind of want to sit back and see what's going on. You saw the other day I mentioned I got caught up in trading on the 1 minute, and I was scalping. I ended up making a couple $100 over 4 or 5 minutes or 6 minutes, but I didn't even glance at the 5 minute. Like, what am I doing? And I saw that it was just a downward move, and clearly the 15-minute would have shown me that too. It's just like you're getting lucky in here, and I was getting a lot of slippage that day, but I shouldn't even been trading. I should have just held for the short and just gone down with it and waited it out. And I tend to want to show more trading and get involved with the YouTube thing and show the action. But really, the smart move would have been, so having this on a 15-minute, the smart move would have been to hold it. Having this on the 15-minute or even longer is helpful on the RSI. So that's going to show you right here where it's at. So you can see it got close to being, breaking the line down here. To being oversold. It got oversold down here. I didn't open it up that. You can open these up on you if you want to read it on your chart. I just have it for chart management. I have it down so you can see 30/70 showing you the average. And then this is the really cool one, the ADX. So what's good about this is now I have this set on a 15-minute. I don't want to know about a 5-minute uptrend. I've done it before. You've seen it. Or a 1-minute uptrend. I can see them. Is it an uptrend for the day? But I do care about a 15-minute uptrend, or a 4-hour or 1 hour, because the alarm will just, it's just annoying on the small one. So, but this one will set off an alarm. It's like a phone. And then I haven't made a video about exactly how to read this yet. But yay, I think we have it in the book for you. Average directional indicator, index. How does it work? Why is it set up? What does it mean? Where are the typical typically above 50 represents a strong trend. So this is just a trend indicator. That's right. Make sure I clarify that. This is showing you a trend. So the trend can be up or down. So it's showing you the trend. So reading that page about that is pretty helpful. So I would do that in the book. And this is what I used to do this, and I went back to doing it. Oh, yeah. So then this information here, when you take a position, let me just buy something. You're going to let me, I'm not set for, hang on a second here. Yeah, here we go. So day, let me go to extended. And I'll buy. Oh, because I'm marketing. Am I No, that should work. Wait, why is that not working for me? Hang on a minute. 25, what is it right now? I'm going to lose so there it is, my market. It wouldn't let me do the market. I have to do let me just see that. Yeah, so it's just not going to let me do it unless I do a limit. So I don't typically do pre-market on Thinkorswim. So I'd have to set it right here. Well, anyway, I was going to show you how that worked, but it's obviously becoming a problem for me to do that. So I'm not going to do that. Remember, you can click this down to set these. I had other things like here, but I'm typically not trading pre-market or aftermarket on Thinkorswim. Occasionally I do, but it does not get the fills as good as you want. But I was going to try to show you what happens is it will fill in the same information that you see right here. So if you want that on your chart and you're not looking here, or if you're using hotkeys, you can get away with this. It's basically showing you the same information. So that is a free script that's available that you may or may not want to use, that, it'll be on this video. So that's kind of cool. So there's nothing new about the level 2 other than the way we have the layout here. And then I showed you how I do the time and sales and how it helps you understand how this reconciles, right? So now we'll get over to this chart. And we'll show you what's on it. So now I talked to you about the volume profiles and then their value areas, high and low, and how you have it over here on the right and how you have it in the intraday. There's the point of control. There's a bunch of videos about that. Let's talk about this. So this is the SMA daily average. So what that means is that it's the simple moving average for the day, not on typically when you put something on your chart, it's going to be for the time increment of your chart, 5 minute, but this is showing me for the day. So if I was trading this stock, even on the 1 minute, I'm going to want, if I'm getting anywhere near these numbers, I'm going to want this line marked out. Like this one right here, 436.58, I probably would have marked that with a big line that said daily moving average right at that ATR low. So that could very, very possibly turn that stock around. And then 448 up here, again, right at the top, another one. You're going to want to mark that. So these are far more respected than the 5 minute simple moving average. So having that up on the screen is something that's you don't normally get to do. So that script comes in very handy as well. And then you have the enhanced volume indicator. So, oops, I shouldn't have closed so quickly. So I know this video is going on and on here, but so this is pretty cool because you're going to get all these scripts. So so this is showing you the sentiment within the candle of the buyers and the sellers. Now, again, I like the scalping indicator. It kind of shows you that already. But if you like to read it another way, this is reading another way. It just won't have those percentages that this has. So I noticed that some of the traders I trade with have both. So you can have both of them, or if you like one better than the other, this script will be included as well, and it gives you the volume as well, just like this does. And then down here is the DTX again on the 5. I do have it on the 5 minute here I've shown. So apparently I feel you can't get enough alarms. So so that's what's down here. Let me just make sure it's showing everything here. No, I want that. I want this. Why am I clicking the wrong thing here? Oh, I already am as large as you go. Hang on. I was trying to expand that even further. So that's everything. Oh, no, I know what I wanted to do. Sorry. Okay. I'll get there, guys. I wanted to open this up. Yeah. So I just wanted to see what everything was on here. It's basically the same. There's the daily ones I talked about. You have two volume profiles because one's off to the right, one's to the left. There's your enhanced volume and your scalpers, and then there's the DTX. So, yeah, we saw everything there. And then down here is another chart, which these are to do our Fibonacci. So this is the 2-day Fibonacci. So I have these all locked up here. So if you were marking this Fibonacci, you go to basically there. I didn't get it exactly on the penny. Remember, you always go from left to right, from there to there, and that's your 2-day Fibonacci. Then, and that's, you see how many fall within your ATR. And then on your this one, you want to do your high-low. So there must be a it must be over here a little further away, the low. Show me the low, please. There it is. So Fibonacci starts at the low right here, give or take. You would mark it exactly, obviously. And you do there now so that you don't have two the same color. And you can make this one a different color. You go here and you say pink. I have a lot of videos that show how to do this, guys, but I'll go over it again. So now you go back and you look, and you see how many of those are falling within the ATR range on your 1-minute chart that you might need to respect. So again, it can get jumbled up, but remember, when you're trading like this. You're trading, those lines are far away when you're doing this, So, and then you're really looking for something to help you out. This is the 5-minute grid, and that's going to be when the candles have gone exactly, when the 5-minute candle is going to close or open, depending on how you want to look at it. I'm going to know when I'm only watching the 1 minute. Now, you can watch a clock and get that information too. This just is a little easier, and it's one more thing to line up. So see those Fibonacci lines? So one of them's right at the bottom of the ATR, which even gives this more reason for support. One's right up here. That's another one. Let's see if there's any more. Nope. So you only really got 2 out of everything we did within the ATR. But if you break out into the escalator strategy or to a trend, having those lines, support and resistance lines, is going to be very helpful. You're going to be glad that those are there. So when you add the 4-hour lines, this is going to get more jumbled up. And if you add the 1 hours, it's going to get even more jumbled up. But remember, you trade like that. You're not trading in a big wide chart. You're watching very, very close price action, volume action. Everything is, in your face, huge. So you can see make the decisions. That's how you want to do it. You're not trying to minimize stuff, and you're not trying to save space. I can see I'm getting repetitive phone calls here. So I think I covered everything there. Let me just make sure on the book, because I wanted to make sure if there were things to explain. Scalpers. Time and sales is here, of course. Level 2, very well explained. You really should read it. Oh, the scanner. Oh, good. Okay. So there was a question about that, and I saw right away what he was talking about. So this is for you. This information's cut off. Yeah, I don't know who messed that up, but I think they probably couldn't fit it on the screen where you could still read it. But as it turns out, they probably made the decision that it didn't matter. But obviously it does if we're confused by it. So up here, it gives you how to set it. And then here it shows you how to set it just for the RV strategy. But for the few people that watch this video, I'll show you what was missing. So here's the scanner. Let's go ahead and scan something. This should really be set for 14 days. Right? So it's got to have a $25 billion market cap. So this is 25,000 million equals 25 billion. That's the way you have to do it, unfortunately. And then this is your ATR setting, 14 days, max price of 250, say. I mean, this isn't going to have like some of the big, this is an older setting here. So let me get on. This is not the, I should just do that like different than that. That will take too long. I'll rescan. Now I'm going to get NVIDIA in here probably. Nope, is NVIDIA, it's over 500? I guess it is, right? but you're going to get bigger ones in here with bigger ATRs here when you get the price up higher. So I have the minimum range 4. So let's just say we did it to 6. Now you're going to get even less, and then you want to set it. You want to make sure that we set the volume so that the volume is, you really want to go after the volume. Again, the test is going to come up all the time, and I'm not a big, I trade it. Beginner traders really should stay away from that stock. That's my opinion. It's a hard stock to trade. But what you're missing over here is this. This symbol wasn't showing you that the time increments, this is the length, 14 days. That's what's cut off. So if that's what you're worried about, you know, that's the answer to that. I think most people will figure that out, but, you know, it's not particularly super intuitive, so it's disturbing they didn't have it. But hopefully I answered the question for at least our people on Day Trading for Success that bought the book. That's the answer to that question. Yeah, nothing's ever perfect, right, when you try to do something. So there's that. Let me see if I come across any others that are a problem I got questions about. Yeah, so there's a lot about determining your ATR levels. Well, I'll keep coming back to this as questions come in. You know, the formula for the risk management's really handy. I'm obviously not waiting for you to read these things. I'm trying to find something to make sure I cover, and then how to set it all up, like your days starting, you know, the checklist and stuff. So I won't go on and on. It's like I'm reviewing the whole book again. So I think I covered everything, guys. So now I have to make sure I have this all ready for you. I'm going to put this video out this afternoon. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, remember to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will be sharing with you our new competition soon. And I appreciate you guys, your support, watching, and be careful out there. Stay green, and I will see you next time. Bye.